Welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence for Shopify Ask the Experts, our bi-weekly live show and podcast that features expert interviews and case studies to show you what to do and what's new in Shopify and e-commerce digital marketing for 2022 and beyond. Ask questions, suggest topics, and grow faster with actionable insights and proven strategies from the world's leading Shopify and e-commerce marketing experts. Welcome, everybody, to Digital Marketing Intelligence for Shopify Ask the Experts. I'm Marissa Morgan, your show host. I'm also the Business Development Manager here at Engage. And on behalf of myself and the entire team at Engage, I'm excited to welcome you to today's show. Today's topic is advertising and why advertising should be the lifeblood of your Shopify store for growth in 2022 and, of course, beyond. I'll introduce you to our guest expert, who is a Shopify marketing expert and consultant, and he'll be sharing some insights that you don't want to miss, whether you have a Shopify store now or you're thinking of starting a Shopify store in the near future. Don't forget, at the end of every talk, I'll also share with you our Engage digital marketing news of the week. Today, we're going to be talking about a new change in Facebook ads, so you don't want to miss that as well. Okay, before we get started with today's special guest, I want to share with you just a little bit more about our sponsor, Engage. If you've never heard of Engage, I want you to check it out and go to Engage, that's Ngagge.com. And what it is, it's a cloud-based platform. It's a modular platform called Engage OS. And what it's doing is we're actually democratizing the power of business communication software. We are giving small to mid-sized businesses, especially those who don't use technical staff, the opportunity to quickly and easily build customer-facing applications at very little or no cost at all. What's great about Engage OS is it's completely customizable and it's very easy to use. Again, even if you don't have a high-tech technical staff right now working for your small or mid-sized business, our tools are powerful enough to really give you communication functionality, but they're also easy enough to use and simple enough to use and really can be used in any business use case. They're also very easy to integrate with other applications and other systems as well. So if you haven't heard of Engage, you're missing out. If you've got a small to mid-sized business, check out all of our communication tools. Some are free, some you can upgrade to use, but right now you can get a free trial, especially of our upcoming SMS program, and get up to 500 free messages as well to try. So if you're not yet using SMS for your small to mid-sized business, you want to check out Engage. Our SMS program is launching right now. Okay, let's get started with today's show. I'm excited to introduce you to today's special guest, Wail Amrani, joining us live right now from across the pond in London town. Wail is a Shopify expert and e-commerce consultant with expertise in managing ad spend to drive brand awareness and maximize ROI across social media platforms and email marketing campaigns. He has developed search and digital strategies for a variety of clients, from international brands to small and medium-sized businesses, like the businesses that are currently using our platform, Engage. He has worked in some of the most competitive industries online, and he helps keep businesses ahead of the competition by researching and monitoring the latest trends in digital marketing and paid media advertising. And that is why he is the perfect guest to join us today to talk about why advertising should be the lifeblood for growth in your Shopify store. Wail, thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence, and thank you for being our guest expert.
Thank you very much for a nice introduction, and I'm very glad to be here and to share my expertise with you. Yeah.
Well, we're excited because your expertise in, paid ad campaigns, your expertise in the Shopify area are quite, your expertise is quite impressive. That when we talked about doing a show together, the list was actually a mile long of what we could talk about. And my co-producer and I we're actually like, oh my goodness gracious, we actually might have to break up all your information into a few different shows.
Of
But I
course.
think that that's the best way for us to give our audience an introduction to you and what you do, and also be able to really give some thoughtful, deep insights into how our audience can use advertising to grow their Shopify store. And then in the future of our series, we might be able to get into more specifics on that. So today with Wail, we're going to be talking about really an overview of how advertising can be used for your Shopify store. And Wail is going to share with us some of the core principles of advertising on Shopify. We're going to talk about setting goals that are relevant to your business, how targeting is half the battle, identifying your audience in terms of your target audience, how being creative is the other half of the battle, deciding your metrics and your KPIs, how to launch, analyze, optimize your advertising, how to optimize your content. We're going to talk about scaling and then retargeting. We'll talk about establishing social proof and then, so important, A B testing, which is something that we've talked about before on our show, Wail. So much here to cover. So I'm really going to turn this over to you. I know that you have worked in the past with Shopify. You are an ex Shopify executive. So why
Yeah.
don't you share with us a little bit about your experience with Shopify, and then we can dive right into some of these insights you'd like to share.
Of course, Shopify is an amazing platform that helps any seller to sell online for either small to medium businesses and also for large businesses. So for large businesses, they can use Shopify Plus with very advanced, features and reporting tools. So Shopify offer a way to sellers to sell across multiple sales channels, so they can sell using their online store to Shopify and also connect other accounts like Amazon accounts, eBay, Etsy, and other accounts. So most of the sellers, they try to do like we call this A/B testing. So they try to sell using multiple marketplaces, including Shopify, and then based on the reporting tools that Shopify offers, they can decide on which sales channel they can target, or they can scale the business. So yes, Shopify is a very good platform for any business. They also have a very large store for applications like Google applications or Apple applications. So they have more than 3,000 applications for any kind of category of for sellers that have those applications help sellers to do their daily work, to increase their conversion rates, to have more customer satisfaction, and to do their daily work. So yes, Shopify is very a good platform for any seller that need to scale their business online, or they need to try for the first time selling online. Yeah.
I like that you mentioned that Shopify is an excellent tool because it allows business owners to integrate with other platforms, like you said, Etsy or Amazon.
Yeah.
And I think integration is a key factor when it comes to digital marketing, right?
Yeah.
Our platform Engage is customizable and people can integrate our tools into other platforms. That's key. And I think that's one of the reasons Shopify has been so successful in building its e-commerce offerings. I shared a statistic on the last show we did last week that I think 37% of all US based e-commerce right now is using Shopify. And there's over 1 million businesses right now, and this is 1 million and growing, that are on Shopify right now. So we continue to see Shopify really dominating this niche, and rightly so. They do offer, as you mentioned, a lot of different tools for reporting. And
Yeah.
again, the integration factor is key, and Shopify is very easily integratable into other platforms and other software and applications as well. Let's
Yes,
dive.
indeed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yes, indeed. And also the seamless integration with other platforms, with other third parties platforms for shipping, for example,
Uh,
for platforms that help sellers to manage inventory, to manage returns, and also for other solutions like SMS marketing, email marketing, by a simple click, you can install, this plugin application and start using it. You don't need to have any technical knowledge, to use and manage, the solution. And also, this lets businesses focus on growing their online business instead of taking care of daily work, daily tasks, some technical issues, and so on.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. We talk about this too, just in general, from a small to mid-sized business owner's perspective. It is very important to focus on what you're good at, right? Not try to do everything. And what is an excellent benefit of using Shopify is the fact that the Shopify reporting and all the tools they offer, like Engage, give you the opportunity to get some help, right? In areas where you may not be an expert yourself. Let's dive into advertising, Wail,
Yes.
because I know that you shared a really beautiful list with us. And I'm going to put that back up for the audience. I see many people joining us now on LinkedIn Live. Welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence for Shopify. Ask the Experts. I'm Marissa Morgan, your show host. Today's guest is a Shopify expert, and he's here to share how advertising should be the lifeblood of your Shopify store for growth. Now, one of the things you shared with us, Wail, is that Shopify's core principles of advertising are essentially this list below. But, just to be a devil's advocate, when I look at this list, I say, okay, well, some of these things are really just core principles of advertising in general. So, can I ask you, what is different about advertising specifically on Shopify or for your Shopify store? What's the main difference, do you think?
The main difference is that Shopify has, very good options. For example, you can easily install, if we can talk about Facebook ads, you can easily put your pixel and install it. And, the pixel will run automatically without the need, to do any technical stuff, for example. And also, you can integrate your Shopify store with all the other advertising, in platforms like Google Ads, Google Shopping. So, for
Mhm.
example, for Google Shopping, you can connect your store, your Shopify, easily with your Google Shopping accounts and start uploading any product feed or any product information and start, promoting your product and items. And also, the most important, feature of Shopify is that the Shopify is mobile friendly. You may know that 1 out of 3, buyers use their mobile phone to buy online.
Mhm.
So it is very important that you have a store that give a seamless shopping experience for your buyer that are using, mobile phones. Okay.
Right.
And yes, and also you need to keep your own design and all the features and all of the menu of your store in front of your customers so that they can, find product very quickly. And also you can, show them any related or similar items. Okay. All this, features help any seller to sell quickly if they are doing a good digital marketing strategy and doing a good targeting and a good ads creative. Yeah.
I like that. So, one of the biggest things is just the integration factor, the fact that Shopify integrates so easily, especially when it comes to advertising, through and into other platforms without the need for this small to mid-sized business or even large business to understand the technicality and how to do it themselves. I do want to welcome an audience member to the show, Frank. I see your comment. Thank you so much for joining us. He mentioned, please focus on key metrics that matter. He says, I don't want to boil the ocean, which is interesting because it's true with Shopify or any e commerce business, right? There are certain key metrics
Of
that are
course.
probably key to making decisions, making advertising changes, things that
Mhm.
you're going to find out during your A B testing process. And it's true, you're not necessarily going to be able to sell your product to everyone in the world, but once you figure out who your target demographic is, your target audience, and where those people are, you can then cater your advertising, your digital marketing campaign on Shopify or through the other social apps to really
Of
target
course.
those people. Let's talk about everything that you've shared. And Frank says, thank you. You're welcome, Frank. Thanks for
Okay.
joining us today. Remind us, Frank, where you're watching from. I am live from Minnesota, just outside of Minneapolis. Wail is joining us today from London town. I love saying that. I used to live in London for like 2 months, Wail. It was fun, but it rained a lot.
Yes, of
It
course.
rained a lot. Now I'm in Minnesota where it snows a lot. I can't get away from the
Okay.
precipitation. Now it's just frozen. Let's talk about everything that you've lined up for us. So let's talk first about setting goals that are relevant to your business. What advice can you give our listeners when it comes to setting goals that are relevant to their business?
Of course, setting goals is a very important thing for any business. So I would like to say that we will have two kind of goals or key metrics. We will have a financial metrics and customer metrics. So for the customer metrics, I would say that the customer satisfaction, we will need to set a goal for that. Let's say we will set a goal of 95% or 98% of customer satisfaction. And then we will have the metrics of customer lifetime value. So this will show us how much money the customer will bring us during their relationship with the business. Okay, and then we will have the financial KPIs. The most important, case are the conversion rates. Okay, uh, the traffic. If we are getting targeted traffic, is very important to to target the good buyers or customers, and also the bounce rates, which is if the customers is the customer is leaving the store very quickly or
Mm,
not. Okay,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
the metrics is very important. We can find those metrics by integrating Google Analytics with Shopify. So using Google Analytics, we will have a good reporting tools that show us, for example, demographics information about the countries, the age, the gender, and also the interest, and also other relevant metrics like bounce rate, like page view, for
mm-hmm,
example,
mm-hmm.
rates, and other relevant metrics. The most important, okay, is the conversion rate and the cost per purchase. For example, how much we are paying, to get our purchase. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and also if we are running, for example, Facebook ads, the cost per click and the CPM, the cost per thousands, is very relevant, is very important, because the most we lower our costs, the most we will increase our ROI. Okay, and the most you are targeting the good audience, Facebook or any other advertising platform will reward us by by giving us or showing our ads to the relevant targeting audience. Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah,
I Everything that you've shared, and again, you're the expert. I am just the host, although I do know a lot about digital marketing as the business development manager here at Engage. But everything you just shared immediately just rings in my head this idea that a website or an e-commerce business, whether you are using Shopify or not, it's not a matter of build it and they will come. You really have to spend time getting into all of these key metrics that you just shared, right? Because something as simple as like the bounce rate, right? When somebody's leaving your website can share so much information with you about a problem that you may not know existed until you actually visited and learned that specific metric.
yeah,
Um, by the way, speaking of metrics, Frank, who is watching from Seattle, wanted to know, how do they give you the interests? Is it from tracking web behavior? Which is interesting because, as many of you know, due to privacy now, when you go
yeah,
into different apps, they're now saying, do you give this app permission to track you? And now I'm always choosing no. And that can be a little bit of a hardship for businesses now, because the privacy factor is now something we have some control over, and we can actually engage that and turn it on so that they don't track our behavior in the app. But how do you find the
of course.
interests?
Yeah, the interest, very important, way that give us the opportunity, to target the
Uh-oh. I think we might have a technical issue. Wail. Let's see. Uh-oh. All right, everybody hold tight. I think we may have a technical issue here with our connection with Wail. I think we may have lost Wail temporarily. Frank's like, no, I know. I'm like, no. He's such a wealth of information from his experience with Shopify. And I'm excited to continue our chat. If you are viewing us live right now, we are on LinkedIn, simulcast to YouTube, also on Facebook. I'll take this time while hopefully Wail is able to reconnect with us. Let me just go ahead and remove him from the studio and see if he's able. Yeah, he just got disconnected. Okay, no problem. What we're going to do then, while Wail is hopefully reconnecting with us, is I'm going to share with you our Engage News of the Week. Oh, good. He's here. He's back. Yay, he's back.
Yeah.
No problem. That was great. I was like, okay, he's disconnected. There's a little bit of a tech issue, but we're going to wait. He'll be right back. Perfect. So sorry, you were just sharing a little bit about how the Shopify and Google Analytics can actually give you your customer, visitor, prospect customers' interests. Frank had asked how it does that.
Yeah, so Google Analytics will give you, let's say, reporting tools that will, analyze your visitors. Let's say you are doing multiple ads campaigns using Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads, YouTube Ads, and also you are doing SEO, search engine optimization. So using Google Analytics will give you the opportunity to analyze those visitors using demographics like sex, gender, location, countries, and also for some interest, because Google is tracks some visitors or customers based on their web behaviors. Okay, and once we start using those interests, which is very important to reach the relevant audience. Let's say I would like to target people that are interested in cooking, for example. I can show them some kitchen gadget, for example, and I can, increase, my sales by showing them, for example, other similar products or items. So yes, Google Analytics is a very helpful tool, and for example, for some metrics like bounce rate or, for example, page views, those two metrics are very important. Sometimes we have some technical, issue with our store. The customers cannot, see the whole product page, for example. So they are leaving quickly our store. So this will give us an idea about how we can enhance our product page, for example. Okay, and also using Google Analytics can save time for us. For example, we can target specific demographics or specific countries. There we can sell more than selling to other countries, for example.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So key metrics is a really big portion of the advertising space, really, for any of these e-commerce businesses, especially when using Shopify. And one of the reasons I think Shopify has been so successful in cornering so much of the e-commerce market is the fact that its platform is easily integratable and it offers so many different tools for reporting and for metrics. Would you agree?
Yes, I agree. Using Shopify Dashboard reporting tools, we will have the opportunity to analyze all your data for customers, for orders, for online sessions, for abandoned cart, for example, and will give you a clear idea about your work, and so that you can take the right decision at the right moment. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about optimizing content because content right now is such a huge topic. I mean, we all know that the social media apps, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook right now, content is really king, right? Video is
Yeah.
a big part of content. Using influencers is a really big part of creating content for many brands. What would you like to share with us from your experience about how to optimize content so that we can increase our Shopify store sales?
Yes, content, it's a very important, factor in order, to attract more, buyers. So your content should be, optimized around some targeted keywords. Okay, you need to use your keywords and speak about the topic. For example, some stores use their own blog and they start, writing some articles and posts around some targeted keyword. Okay, and then of course you will use some technical, or specific, actions in order to enhance your content. For example, in order to get, ranked very quickly in Google, so you need to have a content which is, Google friendly. So you need to have a good title tags, okay, a good description, a good meta description. You need to work on outbound, links and internal links, and also you need, to dispatch those keywords in the first paragraph, and the middle, and in the end. And also you need to use a very high quality images and videos. So then Google will reward you and will, enhance your, visibility, and you can start, appearing in the first page of Google, or in the even in the first line of search results. Yeah.
Wonderful. Great tips, great insights. And I think playing into this conversation, Victoria Music had a great question for us. And I actually have a little bit of an insight on an answer there. But Victoria is asking, is MySpace still a thing for advertising? And I think that's a fun question because I have been told that if you go to MySpace, it's still very much a thing and it's alive, but it really has turned into more of a curated music and entertainment site. But they are still getting millions of views every single month. So, what are your thoughts on using MySpace? If you feel like your target demographic is there, can you use MySpace as an opportunity to advertise for your Shopify store?
Yes, this can be a good, source of traffic. We can write there relevant, topics and articles, and talking about some topics for music or for any kind of any other topic.
Mhm.
And, we can start having more readers, and we can, redirect those readers to your online store. And why not? You can sell them some items. Yeah.
It sounds like the idea of making sure your target demographic is there first. Obviously, we've talked about that. And if they are doing something like a blog with, like you said, using keywords and certain tags, if we know Shopify is more of an entertainment, music oriented site now, less of a social site, and your target demographic is there, definitely, utilize that opportunity and that platform as a place to get out your brand awareness and your brand message. Great question, Victoria. Thank you so much for joining us for today's show. Let us know where you're watching from. If you're just joining us, I am live from just outside Minneapolis. Wail is joining us live from London. We're talking about advertising, why it is the lifeblood of your Shopify store. And you need advertising, you need an advertising digital strategy to grow in 2022. And social platforms and platforms like Shopify have changed how we're doing our advertising. Wail has shared with us that Shopify makes it so easy because everything is integratable, everything is very easy to use. And also, um, just like our platform Engage, it gives small to mid-sized businesses who don't have a technical staff access to great tools, right? That can be put into play and give you the metrics and give you the information without needing to have that, high paid, super techie staff, right? Michelle's joining us. She's a CEO. Welcome, Michelle. Let us know where you're joining from. If you have any questions for Wail, we have about 10 more minutes with him. And Victoria shared might be a variety of different traffic on MySpace. Absolutely. And Victoria is joining us from Burlington, Vermont. So thank you so much for joining us, Victoria. Be sure to connect with Wail, and I'll share his LinkedIn here in just a few minutes if you have any other questions. And let's see. Another question from Michelle. What are some must-have apps for your Shopify store? Ooh,
Yeah,
good question.
we have some, very important apps that any seller, should install and use those, applications. The first one is for example, product review, because product reviews is a very, important, factor that will, push your customers, to buy from you, because every buyer will read and would like to know about other customer experience. So make sure, for example, to install, you can go to apps.shopify.com and you can type any you can type product reviews, and you will get a list of different applications. As I said, yeah, product reviews is very important option. Yeah, this will give your customers more trust, and they can help them to decide if they can buy from your store. Yeah.
Absolutely. Our last guest, by the way, last week, her name was Uli Haslacker, and she is the founder and creator of Pour Moi Skincare. And she shared with us that reviews have absolutely helped her Shopify store, and that so many of her customers are return customers. She doesn't get a lot of returns on her products. And in the beauty industry, that's pretty unheard of. So she shared that customer testimonials and product reviews have really helped drive her Shopify store sales. By the way, Michelle is viewing from Cincinnati, Ohio. Welcome and congratulations on your Bengals football win this past weekend. They are headed to the Super Bowl. That's exciting. And Frank says, thank you so much for today's talk. He's got to run, but he has appreciated today's show. So thank you so much, Frank. Any other apps? I think this is a great place to end our talk. I know it went quite kind of quickly, but any other apps you would share, Wail, in terms of things that would benefit a Shopify store?
Yes, there is a lot of other apps application that any seller can use and increase their conversion rate. For example, I can give example of exit popups. Okay, so those application will help you to increase your order value. Okay, so for example, let's say you have a customer that that visit your product landing page and then decide to leave your store. So once they click to leave your store, you can show him a pop-up giving him, for example, a coupon code, or reducing the price. Sometimes this help customers to buy because they find that this item is very expensive. Okay, so go to apps.shopify.com, write exit pop-ups, and you will get a list of those amazing applications.
Let me share that again with everybody, and I'll put it right on the
Yeah,
screen. It is
yeah,
going to be, go ahead and share that URL with me again.
yeah. www.apps.shopify.com.
Perfect.com. That's a great place for you to go, Michelle, or any other viewers.
Yeah,
If you're listening on the podcast, by the way, I'll try to spell things out as we go. www.apps, that's apps.shopify.com. Wail said that's a great place to go to find apps to not only incorporate into your store, but an easy way to go ahead and get them right there, right? Download them right from that URL.
indeed, you will find more than 3,000 applications and plugins
Oh,
for any
wow.
kind of category. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Great
Yeah.
tip, Wail. Thank you so much. And
You're
I
welcome.
loved that you shared the idea of, a pop-up or a coupon code or something to, spur a visitor who maybe has left the store, even if especially if they left prematurely, to go
Yeah.
back into the store, revisit the product. There's a product I'm thinking about purchasing right now that's very expensive.
Yeah.
And it's one of those many touch points, right? It's not something I'm going to buy right away, but I'm researching a few different brands. And one store I went in, that store had a product, had the specifications a little bit pricier. And I was like, ooh, maybe not that one. I found another one, a little less money, specifications, maybe even a little better. So I immediately thought, okay, that's the one I want. But when I left that first store, I immediately got a coupon code to take $100 off the item. And so I was like, yes, like this is what, what makes the customer experience so fantastic. Okay, like they really want me to buy. They saw I was looking. They're willing to give me a little nudge to come back. Cool. Well, then I just crossed my fingers, Wail, hoping the other company would do the same. And they've not yet sent me anything, which is frustrating because now I think consumers get a little conditioned to a little bit of sweet bribery to come on back to buy a purchase or to purchase something. So great tip. I think that's a great tip. So many questions and comments during today's show. I really appreciate that, by the way. Victoria does have one more question. She just simply asks, how do we do the coupon codes and apply them? And I'm going to guess you're going to use the app to do that, correct?
Very simple. You can either use the app or you can go to your Shopify dashboard, admin dashboard. There you can, you can set up your coupon code. You can, offer a discount based on the dollars or euro or any currency, or you can offer, a discount based on percentage of the whole price. Yeah, so there you can set up your coupon code simply using Shopify dashboard. And also, if you are using some, applications that's, for access pop-up or for cart recovery, for example, if your customer leave the purchase, they just fill, the form and decide to leave. So you can use those cart recovery applications to send them an email or even SMS, inviting them to complete their purchase. So generally, you can, for example, send 3 emails. The first one after 24 hours, inviting your client to complete the purchase. And if not, you can send them a second one, offering them a coupon code, okay? And then a third one, you can also offer another discount code. Okay.
Fantastic.
So
I like
how,
that.
yeah.
I like that there's a little bit of a system there so that companies can't just overwhelm somebody with 50 emails, the second they leave the store. That's important, right? We want to establish trust. We want to build brand loyalty, loyal customers, because we all know loyal customers buy more, they return less, and they spend more money, right? Wail, we are unfortunately out of time. So if it's okay with you, I'd love to share our Engage News of the Week and we can have a quick chat about that. And then I'll share with our audience how they can connect with you after today's show. Does that sound good?
Of course, sounds good. Yeah.
Awesome. And Victoria says, thank you so much for answering her questions today.
You're welcome.
Victoria, thank you so much for joining us. Michelle, Frank, again, go Bengals. And let's dive into today's news of the week. All right, here we go. We're talking about Facebook. They recently announced that they are making changes in Ads Manager to streamline the ad campaign process. They've now reduced the number of ad objectives you can choose from 11 down to just 6. In order to effectively guide advertisers to optimal campaign setups, they've redesigned the objective selection experience when creating new ad campaigns in Ad Manager. So what they've done is they've moved to an outcome-driven ad experience model where advertisers can select their designed or designated business outcomes, for example, awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, app promotion, sales, and the interface will guide advertisers to the most optimal campaign setup and create paths to achieve that outcome. So now, instead of 11 options, you're getting 6 when you're building your ad on Facebook. And they're asking you, what is the goal of the ad? Is it to build brand awareness? Is it to drive traffic to a website? Is it to have engagement? Do you want comments? Do you want clicks? Is it sales? What do you think about this? I think this is very helpful to small to mid-sized business owners because we're always trying new things, right? We're trying different ads. We're doing 2 ads at the same time to see which performs better. And sometimes we're making decisions based on that A/B testing. But this seems like Facebook is making it a little easier by asking, business owners, well, what is your goal? And then creating the ad based on that. Would you agree? Sounds good,
Of
right?
course, yeah, sounds very good because they will save time and also will, help any advertiser, to reach the targeted audience very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this will also reduce, the time of doing A/B testing and testing some, you know, uh, campaigns or some objectives, like you said, traffic or getting sales or views or engagements. So this is very helpful, of course. Yeah.
Love it. Well, that was our Engaged News of the Week. It's something we share at the end of every show to be helpful and share with our audience trends and news in the world of digital marketing. And everything for this new series, which will last about 6 months, is going to pertain to Shopify and e commerce. So if you found this News of the Week helpful, be sure to come back and join us for another show. Well, okay. I want to share with our audience how they can connect with you. How does your LinkedIn sound? Are you open to LinkedIn connections?
Yes, of course. I'm ready to help any business, any seller, to increase their, ROI or increase their conversion rates, or even help them to build a store from scratch, to choose the best solution, best plugin applications. Yes, I will be very happy to help any seller, of course.
Wonderful. And you can connect with Wail on LinkedIn. It's going to be his personalized URL will be the linkedin.com/IN/Shopify dash agency. So that's how you can find Wail. And the spelling of his name is WAIL, last name Amrani, AMRANI, and he is based in London. So
Yeah.
please connect with Wail. Let him know that you saw him on the Digital Marketing Intelligence show. If you have any questions for him, feel free to reach out after the show if you're interested in working with him. He is a man who knows his stuff when it comes to Shopify. Please reach out to him. But as always, I always ask our audience to make sure you send a note with a connection request. Even if you don't have premium, when you connect with when you connect with somebody on LinkedIn and you click connect, you're able to add a little note. So please always make an introduction. Let them know that you saw that guest on our show. We don't like blind connection requests. I mean, they happen sometimes, but it's always important to make a personal connection.
And
Well,
also
Will,
advise any
yeah.
seller to use Engage solution. They have
Well,
very
thank you.
amazing, communications, solutions that help any seller, to have a good online business. Yeah. So I really appreciate your platform. Yeah.
Thank you. And if you're just joining us and you've never heard of Engage, check us out. It's www.ngagge.com. We have so many different tools to help communicating, and everything can be built in a customizable way. So you can take what you need for your business and basically build it up like little building blocks. We have SMS, WhatsApp. We have live chat features. So you can have a chat button on your website. We have chat agents that can man your website after hours. Facebook and Instagram DM. We have a CRM system, help desk, so many features. And we're really excited because our SMS program is launching right now. So if you're looking to incorporate SMS into your business, it's a great way to help that, abandoned cart situation or give tracking numbers, give promo codes and discounts. Definitely check out engage.com.
By the way,
Yay.
SMS
Yes.
marketing has a higher conversion rate with more than 40%. I think the
SMS
most,
marketing does.
yeah,
Yeah.
SMS marketing, because very easy to check your SMS.
Mhm.
If you compare this with email, you need to be connected.
Right.
So with SMS, you can, check your SMS and you can continue to buy very quickly. Yeah.
I know. I am a big fan. I mean, I am always on my phone. I think my eyes hurt sometimes. I started using a
Mm.
mask on my face because of all the blue light. I was like I'm aging before my eyes because I'm always on my phone. And so many people are. And SMS is a great way. Again, now you have to ask for permission, which is
Of
important
course.
because that is ethical. But once someone opt-ins, ops in, you have a great customer list that you can work with your promotions through. You can, follow up on sales. You can ask for testimonials. You can give discounts. It's a great way to communicate and boost sales for your Shopify store. Well, Wail, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We just dove into a few things that our audience can do to boost sales using advertising for their Shopify store. You gave us a lot of tips. I hope to have you back again in this series to dive into a few of these items a little more specifically.
Of course, we can schedule another, show together and talk about other, like let's say tips and advice to advise any seller to be successful online and to have more sales and scale the business, of course.
Perfect. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me on today's show. I'm going to let you go and I'm going to share with our audience a few goodbyes, and we'll see you back here again soon.
Thank you very much and have a good day. Bye.
You too, Wail. Thank you so much.
Bye.
What a fantastic guest. Not only was he incredibly insightful in terms of how to use advertising to grow your Shopify store this year and into the future, but he shared a lot of great tips and a lot of great apps. And if you missed it, I want to share with you a website that he suggested, www.apps.shopify.com. You can go to that website. That will give you more than 3,000 different apps that you can download to use with your Shopify store. Okay, guys, I am headed out for the day, but I want to invite you to join me back here Thursday, February 3rd at 11 a.m. Eastern. Our guest is a leading Shopify marketing agency CEO. His name is Adam Pierce, and he'll be here to share with us why, regardless of product and pricing, customer experience will be the thing that leads your Shopify store to have a competitive advantage. Join us. Let's talk customer experience on Thursday. And again, a quick thank you so much to Victoria, who says thank you so much for all the advice. Thank you to Michelle. Thank you to Frank. Thank you to Steve. Thank you to Rebecca. Thank you all so much for joining in today. My name is Marissa Morgan. Please connect with me after today's show as well. You can do that on LinkedIn. I am the Marissa Morgan. So Marissa Morgan was already taken. That's no fun. TheMarissAMorgan, the Marissa Morgan. Or if you have any guests that have experience in the Shopify niche, you can have them email me at marissa.m@ngage.com, ngagge.com. We'd love to talk to them about being a guest on the show in the future. Okay, don't forget, last little bit, visit us on LinkedIn. Look for the rainbow colored cog. It is NGAGGE. Follow us because you can get updated tips and, of course, updates on our next show date and show guests, and continue to not only bolster your Shopify store, but learn how the Engage tools can help with your communications and really help put your business at the forefront of all of your competitors in 2022 and beyond. Okay, guys, on behalf of myself and the entire team at Engage, I want to thank you so much for joining me and remind you to check out engage.com after today's show. Have a great rest of your day.